lot for them, but nonetheless they're really able to anticipate and buy enough time. There goes the SOD, the AOG as well will be committed, but Zyda already secures the Lord. There goes Yawi as well trying to disrupt comrades-in-arms, but it's OF doing the job.
Still going to be other options for the side of Liquid to still bring in the fight. Here comes Yawi bringing the fight.
Yawi trying to look for someone, and comrades-in-arms though, he goes in alongside the SOD coming in from OF, and JP takes down Yawi, but there's the crossbow down, but the damage is not enough once again. I'm kind of torn whether or not it will be happy with the amount of dive.
Just say you don't like it.
The team fights that are going to take place later on.
Welcome to
TNC
Mobile
just really goes out
Legends.
all aggressive and wins the team fights with sheer aggression.
Yosh! Ikuzo minasan, let's get game number 1 afoot between Team Liquid Philippines and TNC Pro Team. All of the previous sentiments I echo. Again, Team Liquid Philippines has much easier goes at the mid game. Even come the late game, you know, OHEB has better macro, but if TNC decides to take a fight, I think, you know, if they throw everything at the kitchen sink, they can take out maybe 2 dudes. I just don't know how that interacts with the glue right now.
Yeah. Let's look at the emblems. Okay, tenacity, typical stuff for the glue. It's pull yourself together for Benny Cutie's 1-1 to maximize him getting the inspire much quicker. So I like that choice there by the 1-1 of Benny Cutie.
Yeah, it seems like he can really play his lane aggressively, which we're somewhat seeing right now. But I'm really looking forward to see how this glue will be answered by TNC Pro Team later on. Like, will the inspires be enough if they just really keep disrupting TNC and the kind of like order of or the sequence of the team fights that they really want to pull off?
Yeah, look at what we were discussing earlier about 3martz being very strong with dueling in the EXP lane. Currently, he is pounding the glue of Sanford into the turret. Even though Sanford can get a few hits here and there, so far it's 3martz controlling the tempo of the battle in the EXP lane right now.
You can almost hear Sanford squishing and squashing, trying to just sustain the damage output that 3martz is letting out. First turtle spawning, upper quarter of the map. TNC has a clear advantage in positioning. 3 members already circling the turtle. JP looking to dance.
No, he's not a level 4, but comrades-in-arms goes in, forces out the Crimson Beacon from Lancy. JP trying to zone out 3 members of TNC though, and Yawi's the only one left here in the turtle, trying to disrupt comrades-in-arms from getting the turtle, but he successfully will, and now they proceed with the fight. Sanford gets first blood onto Yawi, but look at that fist break, fist crack coming in from 3mar. They get to somehow trade a 1-for-1 between the roamers.
Renmar, you know what? I love it when we're right.
Yep.
It's the damage output that TNC is struggling with. They had great control, but when TLPH said, you know what, it's go time, they go like, ah!
Yeah, even with Sanji being a little bit late on the feathered airstrike, it was a calculated late feathered airstrike because the eventual entry of 3martz, that could have been 2 kills for TNC. But the feathered airstrike of Sanji sent back Zyda and the other members of TNC Pro Team that they said, all right, sorry 3mar, great set, but we can only get 1 here.
Again, this is made worse by the fact that Suyo no longer has magic defense raised when he's in immortal form. So Zyda feels the extra squishiness.
Yeah, and I also felt like Zyda had a much more peaceful early game farming compared to all the previous Suyos we've seen. Like, there weren't much invasions going on from the side of Team Liquid Philippines, but nonetheless they were able to secure the turtle, which somehow meant that really Team Liquid Philippines are clearly in control right now.
Yeah, Team Liquid can be aggressive, but they don't need to be. They don't need to hyper-invade. They don't need to always be showing up at the jungle of TNC Pro Team. Play for the invasions after you get the major objective. So far, that's what it looks like Team Liquid Philippines is doing. Slight adjustment by Liquid, though, as JP is now showing himself up in the jungle of TNC just a little bit more to get a bit more info as the 2 junglers see each other up top. That covers any potential entry into the gold lane, as OHEB already got the info, was able to dash away from Yawi just in time.
Pre-fire by Sanji, letting out that feathered airstrike. If anything, the only real winning lane for TNC is that XP lane. It's the birthday boy, 3martz, who's holding it down, mid, jungle, bottom. The Phoenix Army struggling.
Yeah, we might be actually seeing TNC really commit to a fight when Benny Cutie seems to have enough damage to follow up the potential setups coming in from Yawi and especially 3martz.
And if he can fly, mind you, there are 2 purifies on TLPH's side. So if they decide to just cleanse all of those stacks.
Yeah.
Benny Cutie's back to square one.
Oh, no more feathered airstrike and really good positioning by TNC Pro Team. They could actually win this second turtle.
Oh, they know Sanji's not around. They go in for the Tsunami Slam, but still JP with the Abbot of the Guardian knocks them up. And now it somehow denies the engage that the TNC wanted to do. The SOD is also there, so they have to take note of OHEB potentially going in. But still, it's multiple members of TLPH being poked down very, very low. And TNC secures the turtle.
That is a turtle apiece between the Phoenix Army and the Cavalry. All this time, OHEB made quick work of that shield. I don't know if the shield just went down or he did not chunk it enough.
Yeah, I think he was able to get the most of it, but then eventually it just went past 5 minutes and the shielding disappeared. However, Team Liquid, they gotta really watch out for their... Wait!
Oh no, the stacks? Oh, there's just one left.
Yeah, couldn't get it up. All right, so... one of the reasons why TNC Pro Team won that last one is they had much better positioning around the middle shrub. They cleared up the mid wave quicker, and they were able to force the feathered airstrike out of Sanji. Yaoi goes in!
Tsunami Slam, but Sanford is there to save Carl Teasy. And now Sanford just using the grab, buying some time, but JP gets left and to provide some information somehow for Sanford, but in the end, he's the one that's going to be taken out. OHEB is here though, trying to dish out the necessary damage. Carl Teasy also using the electrifying beats. But Team Liquid Philippines will disengage for now.
That's what I'm saying. When TNC decide to take one down, they can force these kills, they can force an engagement. And off map, Zyda, they left him alone, gotta push up top.
Yeah, very smart usages of the 4-1 split by TNC Pro Team, especially at when they do it. Now they've taken control of the map and they can potentially get even the next tower in the bottom lane with another big rotation there. So I like the build that the Galoo of Sanford is going for. He went for the Dreadnought armor and then now he's getting the components into the Dominance Ice.
Yeah. Somehow Team TNC are actually maximizing the way that they have a lot of threat in terms of crowd control really well.
Yeah.
Sanji hasn't had much of a great time in terms of positioning as the Farsa.
Yep. Because right now their problem of damage, even though they don't have a lot of full build items just yet, now they have some damage, even better compared to their very first fight in the Turtle, with supplementing that strong crowd control that they initially have already with their ability kits.
Yeah. So now how does Team Liquid Philippines actually contest this? Carl Teasy is just within the area. Sanford's already trying to zone, but he will get caught with the Tsunami Slam. And look at the crossbow of Dan coming in from Benny Cutie. There's just enough time for Team Liquid Philippines to somehow find an opening. OM tries to go for the trades, but Zyda, he still escapes.
Oh, unfortunate for OHEB. The animation of the second skill just a bit too slow as Zyda was already past the wall when he finally got knocked back by that spear and he didn't get stunned. Team Liquid Philippines got that turtle though, got some kills and looks like they're looking for control on the map. They will get it.
TLPH left OHEB down bottom. Again, one of the reasons why OHEB kind of found short that second skill is because he was working on that turret. So that leaves TLPH up on net gold, up on map control, up on objectives. And we're entering Lord territory here. About a minute and change, upper quarters where the Lord spawns. Mid lane still standing just barely for Team Liquid PH. I think this is where TNC will start picking fights again.
Oh, Purify forced out for OHEB too. And unlike the first few minutes of the game, it seems like TNC, they're no longer as hesitant to commit their skills even onto one of the tanky front lines here of Team Liquid Philippines, similar to what happened to Sanford earlier. If there wasn't an immediate response from the AOG, TNC could have probably taken advantage of the situation, but Lansing escapes with the Crimson Beacon, forces out the Purify as well from Sanji. But Team Liquid Philippines, they won't go for the full commit.
TNC are making sure that it's too hot in the kitchen for Chef to cook. Sanji has been throwing off these off-timing feathered airstrikes, been using Purify when he's not ready for it, and it's a miracle that he hasn't died.
Yeah, he's been using those feathered airstrikes to really control the mid lane as a TNC Pro Team are getting closer to, almost, to breaking the tower of Team Liquid there, and Team Liquid wants to hold on to it for as long as they could. No Purifies for quite some time, but TNC Pro Team doesn't look like they might be able to start a Lord engagement with the Moskov and the Farsa not having their Purifies, but they're gonna go for handling the map first. They have to think of that window of the Purify of the Moskov, which is about to come back. I think Sanji's going to be one of the deaths for the next big fight happening for this Lord, though. TNC Pro Team needs to mark that.
Yeah, also you have to consider they have been winning engagements, they have been forcing response from Team Liquid, but the nature of their lineup, Renmar, there's no burst, so they can't blitz the Lord even if they have the space advantage.
Yeah, especially if Carl TZ actually finds a good angle to surprise TNC. That'll do a lot for them, but not unless they're really able to anticipate and buy enough time. There goes the SOD, the AOG as well will be committed, but Zaida already secures the Lord. There goes Yawi as well, trying to disrupt Carl TZ, but it's OF doing the job, and Carl TZ takes care of Yawi all by himself.
It wasn't worth it. Sure, they blitzed it, but at what cost? The 4 lives of 4 members of TNC!
The lack of burst from the Phoenix Army is coming back to bite them as the cavalry are now just gonna march towards their side of the river, closer to their inhibitors. They may have gotten the Lord, but I literally blinked and TNC were gone.
So maybe Team Liquid Philippines right now are the ones waiting for the engage really from TNC. They're the ones more capable right now of turning things around and just going for the counter engages.
All right, Renmar, you can undo your blink. Here's exactly what happened.
I'm trying to look at it slowly. Yeah, we jumped up. SOD got to hit. JP hit the AOG, and it just burst. What TNC are lacking, that's what Team Liquid Philippines can dish out with confidence. Is all right. Yeah. Oh, look, the fight started. Bang, bang. Look, you guys are gone.
Yeah. Literally what they committed to be able to, again, burst, asterisk, that Lord cost them the fight when eventually TLPH decided to tango. They're 5k up right now, and that is a huge firepower differential. You saw in the items there exactly why it's a struggle for TNC to defend.
Okay, Sanji already used the feathered airstrike, and now it seems like Sanford won't make it out alive. Garzizi goes in, but gets stunned by the Blade Surge, and now he won't be able to escape because he gets traded by TNC.
What a read by Zaida! The Blade Surge coming in just in time. They were ready for the entry of Carl TZ. They dished out all the crowd control abilities that they could for the entry of the young GOAT.
Call it a 360 no scope by Mama Coco. Zaida, MDL champion, former teammate of Carl TZ, JP, Sanji, and Sanford. He knows exactly what they wanted to do, where Carl wanted to go, and found the young GOAT.
He probably knows so much about these guys because he really used to play with them not so long ago, if you'd consider playing in for Carl TZ, being so familiar with them. And now you also see the mechanics going toe-to-toe against Carl TZ, who he's been mentioning to be almost performing in his prime, but oh indeed! Yawi gets to catch JP. He might not be able to go for the AOGs, but he still will just to escape. Yawi gets caught by the grab, and Sanji takes him down, currently on a killing spree.
My God, the beauty of the reworked glue. Carl TZ's not done!
Oh, he gets interrupted once more, but that might just be enough for Team Liquid Philippines to play it a little bit more careful. They already got one, but there's 20 seconds before the next objective.
Oh, Grand Theft Orange. Oh, no, Zaida secured! Zaida secured!
He was able to get his orange buff still. Feathered Airstrike zones out the members of TNC Pro Team, and TNC will not be able to defend their tower any longer. Even though for most lineups, a gold lead of 4,000 at this point in the game, you cannot say it's hard to make a comeback against. But the fact that, again, you're lacking so much damage from the side of TNC Pro Team that they can dish out the control, but all the control and everything they toss out takes what? 1, 2 members of Liquid out? Well, they've already spent majority of their resources, and there are still going to be other options for the side of Liquid to still bring in the fight. Here comes Yawi bringing the fight.
Yawi trying to look for someone, and Carl TZ, though, he goes in alongside the SOD coming in from OM, and JP takes down Yawi, but there's the crossbow down, but the damage is not enough once again. OM takes down Benny Cutie too. That's 2 members down from the Phoenix Army.
Bittersweet. Seeing JP take down his former gold laner, Benny Cutie. 2 members of TNC out. 3 Martisi doing his darndest to quell TLPH's push. This Lord getting worked on by Carl TZ. Sanji keeping up the heat.
It's so tough for TNC. Again, they can do so much. They can execute as well as they could, but the math just doesn't work out.
I feel like Sanji's been wanting to do these perfectly timed feathered airstrikes.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's able to finally do it consistently for the past few minutes here in this game. And I feel like the entire lack of damage is really made evident by how Yowie's constantly punished whenever he tries to go in for a setup. There hasn't been a single setup yet where TNC has been clearly able to win the fight.
Yep, we're about 14 and a half minutes in and still the same symptoms of TNC's draft rear their ugly heads. Lack of damage, an all-in nature, and of course the CC answered mostly by these two key purifies on the cores. Sanji starting up again once more.
Whoa.
The heat is on his side this time around as they kick him out of the kitchen. It's my turn. The chef cooking up a push down bottom and the Lord up top.
He brought Zaida down to half HP with just 2 feathered airstrikes. And now Team Liquid Philippines, they are going to accompany the Lord, but they want to secure all inhibitor turrets before they do anything.
They can stand, they can watch, they can try to think about how they're gonna layer their crowd control abilities, but they're getting poked out, damaged. It's so tough right now, so tough for TNC Pro Team to do anything proactive. Everything that they can do is reactive alone.
And that is one word that we forgot to mention post-draft. It rhymes with orange. Range. TNC is lacking in range. Look at this lineup. It's all at mid, at best. And TLPH are playing with the far, so maybe that's why it was okay for Sanji to, you know, take the heat in the early to mid. For even Oheb, he can literally play map to map.
Yeah, that's why we were also kind of... Okay, I was close. Suggesting maybe the Granger, but TNC really just wanted to go for the 1-1. So you were also mentioning something along the lines of confidence. That's probably really what we're seeing for now, but it's just not working for the Phoenix Army.
If they lose this, it's not confidence, it's hubris.
Oh,
Yeah.
but they are going to try to do something, though. They catch Sanford and get to burst him down! But there's a flicker still in a counter AOG. Now it's OM's time to go for the counter. And now TNC are running away. They get to escape Carl Teasy, but they lose one.
The glue?
They use the glue as bait.
The glue? Okay, TNC.
That's a question mark above our heads right now as they get to burst down Yowie like he wasn't there. Benny Cutie tries to look for the stacks and he successfully will get to land the crossbow down. Could this be a play for TNC to save the game? But it's a no because there's too much damage from the cavalry and they get to secure game number 1.
In the draft alone, there wasn't much of a fight that we saw TNC serving up. And in the end, we saw that come through with Liquid taking game 1.
That's rough, buddy. Back to the drawing board. More damage.
Okay.
It's a great concept.